Oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my absolutely evil, terrible, awful channel. Thank you for tuning in today. First, before we get into the content, though, I want to thank all of my minions for getting me to over 2,000 subs now. Holy crap. Y'all are terrible, and I love it. Thank you so much. That's crazy. Anyways, on to the content of today's very evil video. In my spare time, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, down here, when I get bored, I find myself scrolling the absolutely batshit crazy pages of Reddit constantly, as I'm sure many of you also do. And a lot of the stuff that I find on there is kind of insane. Some of the stuff that y'all post is absolutely freaking crazy. I almost forgot YouTube doesn't like me swearing in the beginning of my videos now. So, what I will be doing with you today is I will be sharing some of my finds on Reddit, and today we will be targeting the LGBT subreddit in particular. You all probably could have guessed. It's probably in the title of this video, so yes. We will be bullying, not bullying, scratch that. We will be discussing some of the posts that I see over on the LGBT side of things, and believe me, some of them are kind of bonkers. They left me kind of confused, and I'm eager to get your guys' opinions on them, honestly, because maybe me being a little hellspawn that I am, I just don't understand some of the mental workings of y'all, but I'm eager to kind of get into it and find out if we can kind of decipher some of this shit on here. So let's get right into it. So for the very first post that we have today, I have actually seen this one beforehand, and I don't quite know what to make of it. I saw it on Twitter, I saw it on Instagram, and I really tried to convince myself that it was a typo, because there's no fucking way that someone with a brain cell on this earth actually asked this question, but I'm shocked because I found it on Reddit too. So apparently it's an actual thing that's going on. Maybe some of y'all can help me and shine some light, but drum roll please. Bang. Here it is. Can a trans man be a lesbian? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm honestly confused. Like, I mean, all y'all trans people fight to be properly gendered, not be misgendered and accepted as the gender that you truly want to be. This person was born female, said, I have dysphoria, I am a man, or I want to be a man, or whatever, and they transitioned to be a guy, which means they identify as he, him, because they are a trans man. By definition, that's how it works. And they're asking if they can be a lesbian?
Bruh.
What? God in heaven help us. I mean, like, what do you want? What do you want? These people want to have their cake and eat it too. Like, you want to be a guy, like a trans guy, but be a lesbian. And a lesbian, by definition, is a woman who's attracted to other women. Are you a man or are you a woman? What? I'm gonna answer your question straight up, because whoever asked this is apparently very confused. A trans man cannot be a lesbian. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, sugar pie, it just, you can't have both worlds. You are either a woman, a lesbian, or you're a trans man. If you want both, then do whatever the rest of them do. The gender fluid, agender, there's a million words for it, and I can't keep up with all of them, and I refuse to, honestly. Whatever that is, you know, the whole I feel in between, they them bullshit, if you want to do both. But like, these people want to be respected and identified as trans men, you know, and be accepted as the gender that they are. But then they go and they want to be a lesbian too. Good fucking God. Like, no wonder the LGBT community gets a bit of a bad rap, because imagine asking to be a man and a lesbian too. Do you see any straight men identifying as lesbians? I don't, and if I did, I'd call them batshit fucking crazy. So to answer your question, no. A trans man cannot be a lesbian. I am so sorry. This might have ruined your day, but if you are a trans man, you identify as a man, the way that it works, if you are attracted to women, means that you are straight. There you go. I hope we helped you figure that out. And for our next one, this one is, I don't quite know what to make of it. It says, what is the term for this? It's under need advice. Someone is seeking Reddit advice, which is not a good idea in the first place. I can control my gender and emotions depending on what I wear. I am non-binary. I'm assuming that's what that stands for, because this is Reddit and everyone just speaks in letters and not sentences these days, but look masculine to the viewer. So I'm going to assume that they are biologically male since they look masculine to the viewer. If I was to wear a dress, for example, I'd feel feminine even if I wasn't before I wore it. What is the term for this? Is it gender fluid or is it something else? I actually think that I know what they're referring to. It's not actually gender fluid, and what is it? I've heard of this before. It's when you wear a dress and feel feminine, it's actually called, it's called fucking normal. Okay? It's called normal. Even a straight guy who is not involved in the LGBT community, straight, boring ass dude, right, wears a dress or a skirt or puts on makeup, congratulations, they're probably gonna feel a bit feminine too. The only difference is that they probably won't enjoy it like you do. The only difference is that you like it. Am I the only one who thinks that this person might think that they are the absolute lamest superhero ever? Because honestly, I mean, imagine you can control your gender and emotions depending, if you can control your emotions, congratulations, you're an adult like the rest of us, but controlling your gender, depending on what you wear, am I the only one who thinks that this poor person was cursed with the absolute lamest superpower ever? I mean, the poor dude, controlling your gender, no super strength, no flight, no invisibility, not even, mind control. This person can control their gender. Motherfucker's Captain Chromosome over here. Boo-boo. No. Okay. Boo-boo. Controlling your... I'm gonna assume that you are associating your gender with just the way that you feel. That is just considered normal. If you like wearing dresses, then that means you like wearing dresses. It doesn't mean that you put on a skirt and you automatically become 30% more female. I mean, that's not how it works. Boo-boo, I'm just gonna say to this person, I think they're just very, very, very confused. I would say is you're normal. Okay, what you're describing is normal adult behavior. Wearing feminine clothing and feeling feminine is normal. Controlling your emotions, I mean, depending on what you wear, but controlling your emotions is a typical adult mature behavior. So congratulations, you got that on point too. I would not say, I'm sorry, controlling your gender. What? I mean, no wonder a stark majority of the population these days has like young men especially have an issue with the LGBT community, because motherfuckers when the gay movement started, right, they wanted equality in gay marriage, and they wanted to marry and be in love with who they wanted to be in love with, and they wanted to be left alone. That's fine. That's very reasonable. Now motherfuckers come on here and they say, I can control my gender based on what I wear. And you think that people are automatic, you're expected, to say batshit crazy stuff like this. so you can control your gender and expect the majority of the population to cater to you. And I actually saw a TikTok about this earlier today, which I don't know where the fuck it is, and I'm not going to look it up again. But basically, a chick said somebody with schizophrenia can think that they're Bob, Joe, Billy, and fucking Dave. But somebody who's trans or gender fluid or whatnot can think that they're Bob and Jolene and Stacy and Max. Maybe that's like a gender fluid name, and that's considered normal. But the schizophrenic person who thinks that they're multiple different people is considered crazy. And I think they brought up a good point. I think both of those things, in my terrible opinion, are mental disorders. Like by definition, gender dysphoria is a mental issue. It's not, God's green fucking gift to you. I mean, it's they're both things that require medical treatment to help fix. Like schizophrenia and gender disorder or gender dysphoria, I mean, both are mental disorders that affect people's daily lives to the point where they have to take measures to correct it so they can live full, satisfying lives, right? So they are the same thing. But when I see posts like this, it really makes me think that there are people who just are fucking crazy, I guess. I was trying to think of a nicer way to put that, but honestly, I'm a supervillain. Why am I trying to be nice right now? No, this is insane. You cannot control your gender. You can control how you feel, but way too fucking many people these days, especially young people who are desperate to fit in and have something unique about them and have them be super special little snowflakes that everybody has to, cater to. They're so desperate for something identifying like that they start to think and convince themselves that waking up, putting on a dress, and liking it means that they are changing their gender, when you're not changing your gender. Too many people think that it's wrong just to be a guy who likes wearing dresses. You don't have to change your gender to like what you like. And it honestly gets to a point where it kind of makes me think that some people, it's just an attention grab. And I will say that, like, some people like post this shit and they sound crazy and they know they sound crazy, but they just want, I don't know, reactions or some shit. I don't fucking get it. But yeah, people like this, it's no. To answer this, and so we can move on to the next one because I am on a time limit here. You cannot control your gender based on what you wear. You can control what you can like what you wear, and it can make you feel good. Putting on a really nice outfit, it changes my emotions too, because it makes me happy and I feel all sorts of good and I feel super, I feel sexy, and I feel like real cool. Like right now I got this epic little see-through mesh hoodie on and it's making me feel like a fucking badass. Does that mean that now that I've put a hoodie on and I feel like a badass, that means that I'm gonna identify as fucking G.I. Jane because I'm a badass? No, it just means I feel epic. It just means I like it. You can't control your gender based on what you wear. That is the most batshit crazy thing that I think I have ever heard. And I don't care. Frankly, I don't care what you have to say about it because my opinion is not changing on that one. Okay, next. So this next one, titled, it's another needing advice one. I will be happy to provide you with all the advice in the world. It says, I'm a little confused. So I'm gender fluid, AFAB. I don't know what AFAB means, but I say I'm a lesbian. So let me pause. I feel like I'm gonna have to break this one down a lot to even mentally comprehend what this person's trying to say. So they're gender fluid, which means they don't identify as male or female, but she says she's a lesbian. Confusing, but got it. It's kind of confusing because I act and present like I'm male, and I hate thinking about myself as female. Let's break that down too. So they're gender fluid. They identify as gender fluid. They act and present like a guy, and they hate thinking about themselves as a female. Would that not just be you identifying as a guy? If you hate presenting as female? Am I missing something here? I mean, what? I'm not gonna try to understand that, and I'm instead just gonna move on. And they say, I'm kind of confused because I act and present myself like I'm a male, and I hate thinking about myself as female, but sometimes I like being feminine and dressing girly and getting my nails done or doing my makeup rarely. So they act and present themselves like a guy, and they hate thinking about themselves as female, but sometimes they like being feminine and dressing girly and doing the whole 9 yards, getting your nails done and doing your makeup and shit. There's so many contradictions in the just 2 sentences that I'm having a hard time keeping up. I was just wondering if it's okay for me to identify as a lesbian even though I present myself as male, but I'm still gender fluid. I'm so fucking confused with this. So they're gender fluid, which means they don't identify as male or female, right? I think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they say they're a lesbian, which lesbian means a woman attracted to a woman. So they're gender fluid, but identify as a woman who likes other women. Contradiction. It's kind of confusing because I act and present like a male, and I hate thinking about myself as female, which means, you know, you present as a guy, and you hate thinking of yourself as a female, so you're a guy, right? But sometimes I like being feminine and dressing girly and getting my nails done or doing my makeup. You hate presenting yourself as female, but you like dressing girly and getting your nails done and doing your makeup. Second contradiction. I was wondering if it's okay for me to identify as a lesbian even though I present myself as male. Contradiction. No, you cannot identify. We've been over this already. Oh my god. Why is this so fucking common right now? You cannot identify as a guy and be a lesbian. That's not how it works. Jesus Christ. And they present themselves as male, but they're still gender fluid. Maybe I'm just having a hard time comprehending this, but like if you're gender fluid, you're not one gender or the other, right? Like, I mean, like you can dress masculine, but by saying you present yourself as male means to me that the general population, when you are approached, you go by maybe like he, him, and you identify as male, but you say you're still gender fluid. I'm fucking... What? I'm moving on. I can't do this. Okay, this next one's a bit of a long one, and I am going to go through this with you. I think I skimmed through it once before, but I don't really know what it's about, so I'm going to read it through with you guys to get a bit of a refresher. It's, I don't know if I'm trans, another need advice. It seems like a lot of people on the LGBT subreddit need advice, and maybe this is the problem or why we have so many detransitioners, because people go to the LGBT subreddit and ask people, strangers on the internet, with minimal details about their life, if they're trans, and people validate them and say, yeah, you're probably trans, and then they transition because they got advice from people on Reddit. We need to stop. Don't do this. I don't know if I'm trans. Need advice. I don't even know if I'm trans or not. Everything is so confusing. I've been having this constant gender crisis thing for about a week or two now, and I don't know what to do. I had a trans phase when I was 11, in which I cut my hair short and started going by a male name. One, I'm going to state that the entire rest of this little paragraph page that they've written, I'm automatically going to be a little bit more suspect about any points that they have to bring up, because they referred to when they were 11 as in trans as a phase. They themselves referred to it as a phase. So anything else that they relate to is My computer made a noise. I'm automatically going to be a little bit more skeptical about like their reasoning for this before I've even read it, because even in the very beginning, they are already using the word phase, which to me tells me that they even subconsciously think that at that point it was even a phase for them too. But moving on. I had a trans phase when I was 11 in which I cut my hair short and started going by a male name. My family and most of my school was completely unsupportive. Around the age of 15, I gave up and started growing my hair out again and telling people to call me by my birth name. Although I still wear masculine clothes and participate in masculine activities, so you're a tomboy. Okay. I'm now 17 and completely identify as female. I'm a cis female. Well, there you go. You just said it, you're a cis female. What's your problem? I bought boxers a week or two ago, which reawakened something in me. I felt so masculine and grew obsessed with them. Even now, I can't stop wearing them or looking at myself in the mirror as I wear them. I sometimes even wear stuff in my hair. Sometimes, demon can't speak. I sometimes even stuff my hair in a beanie just to see how all of it looks together. So, this is fairly common. A lot of women wear boxers because they're comfortable. They look good, honestly. And some women, you already stated that you're a tomboy. You like masculine clothes and you like masculine activities, right? But you completely identify as female, which is totally fine. You're a total tomboy. You like guy stuff even though you're a chick. It's totally fine. And that means naturally you might like boxers too. You've already stated that you like guy stuff. So you liking wearing boxers so much probably should not come as much of a surprise to you as it should. But next paragraph. I've also started learning how to kickbox, and all this exercise, muscle building, and boxing has made me once again feel so masculine. It's gotten to the point where I feel physical stress over the fact that I'm not a male. Probably because you surround yourself in male-dominated activities and very, very masculine things, to where if 90% of everything you do is all very masculine, very male. You wear male clothes, you do mostly male-dominated sports like kickboxing, you hang out with a whole bunch of guys. At that point, the only difference, the only thing that's standing out right now is the fact that you are female. Because everything that you surround yourself is male. So naturally, you might feel a little bit of stress simply because it stands out so much. You're a female doing lots and lots of male stuff. If you were doing kickboxing and you're the only woman in the class, that's probably going to stand out, and you might feel a little bit of anxiety about that. It's not necessarily because you're dysphoric, but you are surrounding yourself as a female with male-dominated sports. The only thing that is standing out, the only difference between you and all the other guys that you hang out with is that you're female, so naturally you're probably going to notice that fact. Although I don't know if I'm feeling gender dysphoria or if I'm just a tomboy because I love having boobs, I absolutely love it, but at the same time I feel really stressed over the fact that I don't have a penis. Don't, Salty, stop. Stop it. You're judging. Quit judging. Continue reading. Discontinue judging. Although I don't know if I'm feeling dysphoria or if I'm just a tomboy because I love having boobs. I absolutely love it. So, you're not dysphoric about your body, but you also feel stress over the fact that you don't have a penis. Everything is so dang confusing. So you love having boobs, you love being, feminine like you are, even though you surround yourself with, masculine activities. You're a tomboy, right? But you feel stressed that you don't have a penis. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a therapist. I don't know what the fuck that is. You're confused, and I think you need, legitimate help. Because you don't seem to be dysphoric about your body, but at the same time, you want to have a dick. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily automatically mean that you're dysphoric, because there's a bunch of women who are very, very jealous over the fact that men have dicks and how, they don't have to sit down to pee and they can just pee wherever and it's fucking convenient and easy. And, it's there's a lot of women who feel the same way. Probably. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you feel dysphoric, but honestly, you're just kind of confusing me because you like having boobs, but you want a dick. Yeah, I got nothing for you. I don't know. I'm gonna move on. Some days I'm completely happy with my female body and female look, while others days I wish I could look like all these men and I wish I could have a penis so badly. Again, I feel like this is very normal. You love your female body. You say yourself you're completely happy with your female body and female look. But again, like I said earlier, you are surrounding yourself with all of these masculine things and things, you know, like if you're in kickboxing, at least when I started working out, because when I was around 18, I was working out with a Marine recruiter because I was originally going to go into the military. I know, surprise, surprise. Some of you might know that already. And I loved being feminine, right? I loved the way that I looked, you know, because I wasn't, you know, at the time, I wasn't dysphoric or anything about my body, but I was also subconsciously very jealous about the way that all of the men in my group, they were stronger than me, they had more endurance than me, and granted, they had worked out to get to that point, and I was just starting out in my, you know, fitness journey, but I was still jealous. I still thought that it would be easier. Man, I wish I had a guy body. I thought men with abs looked so good, and I just got jealous, and I really wanted I would go through periods where I'd like myself, but then I'd see them and I'd get jealous, and I'd be like, man, I wish I could look like that, right? Because in your mind, you think they look really good, and it's natural to be envious of something that you think is very, you know, attractive looking, or, you know, somebody who seems really successful at whatever it is, whether it's bodybuilding or finances, you know, if somebody has a lot of money. It's natural to be envious of that and to kind of want that for yourself. So I don't think that they have dysphoria. Like I said, I'm not a therapist. I'm just an asshole online. But I don't think they have dysphoria because they say that they're completely happy with their female body. That automatically, to me, screams you do not have dysphoria. Because people with dysphoria have constant, like, mental issues. And, like, there's just a divide between their body and what they feel on the inside. You say you don't have that. But you also really wish that you could look like all of these men and wish that you could have, you know, like a dick, which I really think that you have some just serious envy issues. Mostly, like I have been stating probably 50 million times already, you surround yourself with men and masculine things. So I feel like it's only natural for you to start to want some of that yourself, since the only difference that separates you from yourself and the men that you're surrounding yourself with in your kickboxing class and the gym and whatever is the fact that you are physically feminine and female. So naturally, I feel like you're probably going to encounter some envy and some jealousy issues over, like, the men and how they look and all of that. So I don't think this person has dysphoria. They say, at the same time, though, even if I were to figure this out and find out if I'm trans or not, I think I would just stay female and not transition. So now I'm confused on why they're even posting this, because they said at the same time, even if they were to find out that they were trans and figure that out, they think that they would just stay female and they wouldn't transition. So regardless if you're trans or not, you wouldn't transition at all in the first place. Why are you even posting this if you're not gonna transition? Like, I mean, do you just want to rant about, like, your mental insecurity, like, issues that you're having? And that's fair, but I mean, a lot of, like, a big theme that I'm seeing is a lot of people posting random shit that honestly they answer themselves in their own posts. Like, this person already stated they feel like when they went trans when they were 11, they felt like it was a phase. They're comfortable with their female body. They don't, you know, necessarily feel dysphoria. They are just a really big tomboy, and yet they're wondering if they're trans. Girl, you already answered it. You already answered your question. You stated everything. You're probably not trans. I hate to break it to you if you were wanting that. But, good God. So they stated that they would, even if they were trans, they would just stay female and not transition. My boyfriend would most definitely leave me, and I don't want that. My family would be very unsupportive, as they were last time I had my trans phase. Again, they were referring it to as a phase, which makes me seriously think that they themselves know, even subconsciously, that they're not actually trans, and it was like that, like they said themselves, it was just a phase. I don't want stupid surgeries either. Keep in mind the wording here, I feel, is very important. I don't want stupid surgeries either, which means they have a desire to look like a guy, sometimes stated. Sometimes they're perfectly fine with being female, and sometimes they really just want to look like a guy, but they don't want stupid surgeries, which means they think that getting surgeries to make yourself more aligned with the gender you identify as, gender affirming surgeries, like top surgery or bottom surgery, they think is stupid. They said they don't want stupid surgeries either. So even if they identified as transgender, they would consider the gender affirming surgeries that they might think about getting to further affirm their gender. They think of it as stupid. Yeah, I don't think you're trans. I really don't. I don't think I even have to explain that. I want to be a cis male. I just wish I were born with a penis. That's what I want. Sorry? We don't always get what we want. I want to learn kickboxing, and I want to compete with the guys. I want to be a world champion, and for the love of God, I want to look like a guy. But I said at the same time, I really love my boobs and feminine body, even though sometimes I wish I didn't have them at all, and I rather had male genitalia and features, but a lot of the time, and if I were male, I'm sorry, there's a lot of typos, I would miss those things at times, even if other days they stress me out and make me hate myself, as sometimes all I want is to look like a man, and I want to have a penis. I think this person, he's laughing over in the corner, I think this person is just seriously confused. They also stated that their family would be very unsupportive. God, does it state how old this person was? Yes, they're now 17. So this person is a 17-year-old woman. Correction, they're a 17-year-old girl, because you are not an adult yet. You're not a woman yet. You are still very clearly developing. You are still very clearly figuring out who you are, what you want, and it is normal. What all of these kids get brainwashed into thinking is that they have to figure themselves out, and if they have any doubts whatsoever about something that they might like, whether it's boobs, or being a tomboy, or maybe sometimes they get really jealous of how good all the guys look, and maybe they get, even just a split second, maybe they get a thought in their head that's like, damn, I wish I could look like that. Then they get confused, and like I said, borderline brainwashed into thinking that just because you have doubts when you're young, when you're this age, about like who you are and what you want, means that you probably have identity issues and you have gender issues, and you have to figure out if you're trans or not right fucking now, because my God, if you don't, your entire life is gonna go up in flames, and it's not fucking true, yo. Calm down, take a step back. It is okay to be confused. You are a 17-year-old girl. I'm 23, and I'm still figuring my shit out. People's brains do not develop until they're like, oh God, what is it, like 24, 25, something? It's later, all right? You should not be making any kind of serious, decision like that when you are this young. I don't care how sure you are. I don't care if you were a little boy and you loved to wear dresses, and you knew immediately that you liked makeup and you like feminine things, which must mean that you were trans, right? Then you must be a girl because you like girly things. Even when you were young, you just knew. No, fucking boo-boo. That doesn't mean that you're automatically trans. Sure, it might mean it, but you should not be transitioning when you're young like this just because you really feel it. I liked dinosaurs and fucking monster trucks when I was a kid, and I played softball and I wanted to be what was it? I wanted to get into the MMA when I was a kid. Obviously I never did because I'm 5'3" and I'm short, and that's never gonna happen. But I liked guy things when I was a kid. I still like guy things. Does that mean I'm a guy? Fucking no, it doesn't. Like, you're allowed to be confused. That doesn't mean you're trans or you have gender issues. It means that you're normal. You are normal. How many times do I have to say that before these people fucking get it. You don't need to go on the LGBT subreddit. And please, for the love of God, if you are confused like this, do not go to the LGBT subreddit. Because all the comments, like, they're like, so many comments under these, like posts about needing advice on here. An astounding and frankly alarming amount of things on here that, like, people post like, I'm a 17-year-old girl, and they post like this, where it's like, boo, you're not trans, you're just normal, you're confused, and you like all of these different things, and you're allowed to like it. You're allowed to be a tomboy. It doesn't mean that you're trans. And so many people comment giving them advice as in, well, maybe you should transition and feel how you want to feel. And oh, I read a story about so and so, and they were confused just like you, and they transitioned, and it was such a good idea for them. Maybe you should do it too. They give all of this way too affirming, like, advice to kids who do not need that side of it just shoved in their face. Because I rarely do I ever go on this subreddit and I actually see comments about people telling the poster to calm down, take a step back. You're probably not trans. You're young. You're 17. You are still developing. All right. You were just confused. Wait a few years. Figure yourself out. Everything's going to be fine. I don't really see comments like that very often. Like, a lot of them, even on the ones where, is it okay for me to be a guy and a lesbian? And people are like, totally, yeah, we accept you just as who you are. Which, in theory, that's great. It is great to just accept people with open arms, with, however they identify. In theory, it's great, but it goes way too fucking far in this community of, like, the LGBT. Like, they go so far as they affirm and accept people who should not have that kind of affirmation. People who are questioning if they're trans, when in reality, like this girl, they're just young and confused and normal, and people convince them that they might be trans. And then they go online and they research all the trans people who transitioned, and now they're so happy, and goddamn, wow. I mean, when I transitioned, or when I was looking at it, I went online and I saw before and after pictures of women who went on testosterone for like years, right? And they looked so much like a guy, I couldn't fucking tell. Some of them looked so fucking great, and I got to thinking, oh my god, what would I look like if I went on, like, testosterone? Would I look that good? And you kind of start to, like, fantasize about you being a guy and, like, or a girl, and, like, changing your gender, and, like, all, you start to, like, romanticize it all through, like, rose-colored glasses, when in reality you are young and you are latching on to an identity because you are trying to figure out who you are, when it is not what you should be focusing on. And you should just be focusing on being you and being normal, and not taking permanently medically altering hormones that change your body forever, not getting surgeries that a lot of times leave you physically with, like, actual issues. Like, there's a lot of articles, I don't know them off the top of my head, but a lot of, oh my god, can I stop burping, please? I've had way too much caffeine. But there are a lot of actual, like, articles about people who have gotten these surgeries, top surgery, bottom surgery. I mean, how the last video I posted had an interview about a girl who has a ton of medical issues now because of these surgeries that she was basically pushed to get, because they said, oh, if you're trans, you have to get this, otherwise you're not truly trans, These kids need to stop going on to these subreddits, these internet boards, and asking random strangers with the most basic information about their lives. Like, this person summarized from being 11 years old to 17 years old, which is 6 years. They summarized 6 years in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 9 or 10 paragraphs. 6 years, and basically less than a page of detail, and asked the internet for a diagnosis on a page where 90% of them are way too affirming for their own good. And that is a problem. I don't know how else to put it. You shouldn't be going on internet boards asking strangers for advice. And and I understand that you're young and you want, to figure yourself out and to figure answers about, like, like who you are and everything. Don't go on Reddit and ask total strangers. It's not gonna go well for you. I don't care. Some people they probably have your best interests at heart and they just want you to be happy. But the advice that a lot of times that they will give, try this, try that. Oh, I did this and it worked for me. Just because it worked for somebody else does not mean it's gonna work for you. Everybody is drastically unique in their mental state and their environment and what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And the last place that you should be getting advice is from people who absolutely do not know anything about you. Not all trans people are the same. They don't all have the exact same, experiences. So how in the fuck is someone supposed to diagnose you online like this? I don't know. The shit that I've read today is just kind of batshit crazy. And, I don't know. I don't really know what to think of it all. Actually, I do know what to think of it all. I think it's fucking insane. I think it's insane that people think that they need to diagnose themselves when they're not even 18 yet with something like this. Poor kids these days are convinced that they have to figure themselves out immediately and as soon as possible, and they aren't allowing themselves to be kids and to have genuine childhoods, and are just allowing themselves to be confused and just being okay with being normal. But I don't fucking know, yo. I've been going for quite a while, and I think I'm just gonna call it, because I don't really have anything left to say on the matter. I think I've said my piece. Y'all are fucking insane. I don't know what else to call it. If you know someone who is going through this, please assure them that they're normal. It's okay, no matter what they say it is okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel confused about your body. You're a woman going through puberty. If there's any point in life for you to feel confused about your body, it's now. It's normal. You're okay. You're not fucking XYZ gender unicorn magical thread. You're not. But anyways, I'm gonna go, y'all, because I'm fucking tired. So y'all have a good night. Let me know what you guys thought of all of this stuff in the comments. Let me know, am I an asshole? Am I not an asshole? I don't care either way, but I'm just fascinated about your opinions. So y'all have a good night. Toodles.